exceptionally smooth Michelob. Where you're going, it's Michelob. By the Chrysler Corporation, featuring the all-new 1985 Colt, imported for Dodge and Plymouth and built by Mitsubishi in Japan. Just remember, Colt is all the Japanese you need to know. By Owens Corning, our building products put your house in the pink. And by Ryder Truck Rental, when you move it yourself, it's Ryder or it's wrong. And here are the Nebraska Cornhuskers romping into Memorial Stadium, a reflection of their record. They were beaten one time in the previous games at the upset by Syracuse, but they have come back to rank atop the national polls. Their head coach is Tom Osborne, and Tom, in his 12 seasons, won 17, 26, and 2. And now the Oklahoma Sooners with a record of 7-1-1, ranked 6th in the nation, upset by Kansas, tied by Texas. Coach Barry Switzer, 12th season. He is 8-4 against Nebraska. Hello again, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson. Over the last half century, as Jim Lampley said a little moment ago, this has become one of the premier series in college football. In 39 of the last games between these two teams, 37 of those games have decided the Big 8 championship. It's been an exciting series, and in succession we've had unusual plays like the boomerooski, the fumble-rooski, the guard around, the bounce lateral, and so on it goes. But I think perhaps the general character of this tension that grips this game may be reflected from a young man named Scott Hill, who is now the running back coach for Oklahoma. But in 1976, he was a senior defensive back, and he led the team in its prayer just before they left the locker room. And his closing line was this: "And please, oh Lord, don't let the best team win today." And apparently it didn't, because Oklahoma used the flea flicker and beat Nebraska 20-17. As for today's game, let's turn now to Frank Broyles. Frank, we've got number 1, number 2 defense in the country. Is this to be a game of patience and field position?
Keith, when you have great defenses, you learn that the field position is the key factor. Very few teams can move 80 yards against them. Both teams are going to have to find a way to get the ball at midfield and maybe take it in from there.
Barry Switzer says he may go all out. He may have to go all out in order to get points on the board.
Nebraska defense is so strong the wishbone could not score against it in the coach's own opinion. So what do? You use a lot of different formations. You try to get this experienced Nebraska defense to make a mental mistake and give Oklahoma a chance. We'll see about 15 different formations.
South Carolina defeated today. BYU is struggling. Obviously, everybody on the Nebraska side knows this could be a national championship game for them.
They feel for the 4th year they're one game away from a national championship. If they can win today, the indications are that whoever the opponent will be in the Orange Bowl, it would not be of the caliber of Oklahoma. So this is the game that they are saying national championship.
And we're floating in a sea of red. 136 consecutive sellout here at Memorial Stadium on the campus of the University of Nebraska. The Sooners and the Huskers are ready to go.
Number 78, defense.
You take the second half. Okay, they win the toss, but they decline the first half option. Nebraska, you may kick or receive or defend either goal.
Receive.
You will receive. All right, Oklahoma, which end do you want to defend? Oklahoma defends this end. So Nebraska receives. Shake hands, guys. We'll start the game in 1 minute and keep moving, PA.
There, the series record between these two teams. And I am not surprised that Oklahoma chose to kick off, because as we noted, it is a cold, windy day. The wind gusting at times and will be blowing from right to left. So Oklahoma will have the wind at their back in the first quarter. And they will be kicking the ball to Nebraska, a doubly dangerous football team when it comes to returning the kick.
The kick and return kicks may be the difference in this ball game, Keith. As we look at Barry Switzer, the safety men of Nebraska are exceptional in returning them, particularly on punt returns. Smith is first in the nation. Swanson is third in the nation, 17 and 14 yards respectively.
It was Swanson that had a big punt return that got Nebraska going for its victory over Oklahoma State. Swanson, number 17, is deep now to receive this kickoff, along with Doug Dubose, who figures to do the bulk of the work at tailback unless Jeff Smith's ankle has come around. Jeff, as you saw the numbers on him there, has been an outstanding player, but he has labored all year long with a sore ankle. Lasher will kick it off for Oklahoma. The Sooners are in white. We are in Lincoln, Nebraska, and we are ready to go. It's a very high kick, and way back into the end zone. Swanson will put it down, and Nebraska will have the football first down at its own 20. And Travis Turner will open at quarterback, 6'2", 205, an aggressive runner. Jeff Smith will open at I-back. Scott Porter opens at fullback, 200-pounder. Shane Swanson will be the wingback, 5'9", 200, and Scott Kimball, wide receiver, 6-footer, 195. And from the 20, the first snap of the ball game, as Kimball comes wide and out of the picture at the bottom. He's flanked very wide to the bottom of the screen. The I-back is Smith, and he's got it. And he cuts it over the left side, but the Oklahoma defensive people, led by Brian Bosworth, make the tackle after a yard. Brian Heemer is the tight end, top receiver. Tom Mora, a tackle, 260. Greg Orton, a guard at 260. Mark Trainowitz, a center, 265. Harry Greminger, a guard at 265. And Mark Baining, a tackle at 290 pounds. Second down and 9 for the Cornhuskers from their own 21. And Turner gives the ball again to Smith. He cannot get outside. Again, the defensive flow is led by Brian Bosworth, a redshirt freshman linebacker. The defensive unit for Oklahoma, you've got the Reed pair and Casillas in the middle with Flemings and Johnson on the other side. Miliazzo and Bosworth are your linebackers. The secondary, Hall, Rockford, Brown, and Rayburn. And it is a much younger secondary because of the loss of Johnson and Stanberry. They were injured in an automobile wreck and are out for the rest of the year and the rest of their collegiate career, at least in the case of Stanberry. Here is Turner on a roll on 3rd and long, and in trouble and caught behind the line of scrimmage. Brought down at the 15. It was Troy Johnson and Darrell Reed, the two defensive ends, looping, and from the weak side it was Johnson who got there first.
In talking to the Oklahoma coaches, they want to place Nebraska in that situation. 3rd and 7, 8, 9 yards, letting Turner see if he can win the ball game for Nebraska. Last year, they got Nebraska in that situation, but Gill, their All-American quarterback, pulled them through.
Livingston in to punt for Nebraska. Oklahoma's got Buster Rhymes back there. Here's your strategy of Barry Switzer now. If Rhymes handles the ball well, Oklahoma's going to have good field position. It's a very high kick, forcing Buster to a fair catch, and there you have the Sooners operating first down at their own 45. And the starting offensive unit for the Sooners will be Danny Bradley at quarterback, dramatic player indeed. Lydell Carr, the freshman at fullback, 195 pounds. Spencer Tillman, still laboring with a pulled hamstring, will open at halfback. Steve Sewell has had the year of his career this year at the other halfback. Derek Shepard is a wide receiver. And here we go with the Oklahoma wishbone. First down, the Sooners start from their own 45. Bradley gives it inside to Lydell Carr, and he's got 4 yards. Here's your first down situation. If you average 4 or 5 yards on first down, you're going to do all right. He weighs 235 pounds, does Jackson. Dillingham is a 270-pounder. Pickett weighs in at guard 275. The center is Chuck Thomas, 275. Eric Pope is the other guard, 275. And Brent Burks, 6'7", 270. So the Sooners are plenty big along the offensive front. On second down and 6. Tillman carries the football, and Tillman is cut down for a yard loss by Neil Harris, a blitzing cornerback. Defensively, it's Weber, Spockman, Graber, Stuckey, and Strasburger up front. Daum and Munford are the linebackers for Nebraska. And the secondary people are Burke, Harris, Clark, and McCashlin. On the Nebraska side, you have experience, a lot of seniors. There's only one freshman listed in their top 44. On the Oklahoma side now, you got 6 starters, freshman starters on defense alone for the Sooners. They have 22 freshmen in their top 60. And Bradley's back on 3rd down and 7 and throws the football low and incomplete, intended for Steve Sewell, who squawks that he was interfered with. Brett Clark was the defender.
We saw Nebraska blitz on 3rd and long, something that they do very effectively and have done all all year. I think they want to really put pressure on Bradley, who has the workload today. The central figure, Danny Bradley for Oklahoma, running, passing, and the option play.
Mike Winchester is in the punt for the Sooners as they're unable to move the ball, and with the wind at his back, hangs it high and way back there, and that'll get you a penalty flag. Jeff Smith was back and stuck his hand up for a fair catch call. He did it late. Scott Newland ran right over the top of him, and the flags came flying. A 41-yard punt.
Keith, you called it perfectly. Smith was signaling and going to step to the side. I don't think he was going to handle the punt. Well, I guess he was.
Yeah,
it looked to me like he was going to step over and let the ball hit the ground.
Well, I think he was, Frank, until he realized that Oklahoma people were down there and probably could kill it inside the 10. Then he decided to go ahead with his fair catch. And he lucked out.
Well, that was a mistake in the kicking game by Oklahoma. The rules clearly state the safety man signaling for a fair catch has protection.
So we're at 11:46 to go in the first quarter. No score. Nebraska coming up with its second possession.
Oklahoma first down.
Very legal fair catch signal in plenty of time. The hand wave from side to side and above the shoulder gives him free ability to catch the ball. He will not advance it, so the defense has to leave him alone.
Comes out just beyond the 24 where it's a first down for Nebraska. No score, first quarter of play. Fumble football, and Oklahoma's got it.
Here again in a tough ball game, Barry Switzer has for years chosen to kick off on the exchange between the quarterback and the center, something that should never deviate. It should be automatic. The ball just pops right out. I don't know whether the center was trying to block on Casillas, who's one of the best nose men, in fact is the best nose man in America. Wanted to get out and make the block. He didn't concentrate on the snap. Oklahoma's ball.
Migliazzo covered the loose football for the Sooners, and they're a first down on Nebraska's 26-yard line in the first big break of the ball game for either team. Inside it goes to Carr, and Carr from the 26 close to the 20. Got at least 5, close to 6 yards on the carry.
Here we look at the Oklahoma sideline. Barry Switzer, the winningest college football coach in America over 5 years. Here are the comparisons offensively. Oklahoma, Nebraska. You can see that Nebraska in 433, scoring 35 points. Here's the comparisons defensively, both outstanding. Oklahoma #1 against the rush. Nebraska #1 in total defense and scoring defense.
Oklahoma to the attack on second down and 4.5. And up the middle goes the play with Carr carrying, and he may have a yard. That was Ledbetter, Jerome Ledbetter, who had come in, number 20, replacing Lydell Carr. Ledbetter is a senior and a little bigger at 225 pounds.
Coach Switzer told me this morning that in the games they lost to Kansas and played so poorly against Iowa State, they did not establish their fullback. For the last 2 weeks, Lydell Carr, their fullback in the wishbone, had rushed magnificently through the middle, given them the offense they needed, and they were going to do it again today.
Ball is setting at the Nebraska 18-yard line with Carr back in the lineup now. And Bradley sets him up on third down and 3. They go back in the middle with Carr, and he breaks it and goes for a first down as he's close to the 10. Ken Shedd made the tackle for the Cornhuskers. They mark him at the 11.
Good blocking right over behind Pope, number 63. And the center, Thomas, gets a good block, and you can see the opening there straight ahead, something the wishbone tries to establish before they ever go sideways.
Ledbetter is back in at fullback now. The up man out of the wishbone formation, number 20. First down and 10 from the Nebraska 11. And in the middle goes number 20, Ledbetter. He gets stacked up at the 8. And then he is rolled all the way back to the 15. Ken Graber, the middle guard, and Mark Munford, the linebacker, stopped him that time.
This Nebraska defense, as we mentioned earlier, has 9 senior starters returning. They have played virtually error-free football, seldom make any mental mistakes. Teams that run sideways on them have had little, if any, success at all. Oklahoma's going right at them.
Carr's back in at fullback. Ledbetter is out. They've got double wide receivers now. It is second down and 8. Go to Carr, the fullback. He's down to the 1, and he may have a first down. Brett Clark, the strong safety, finally brought him down. He went slanting over the left side. And when he found that big hole and nobody hit him, he lost his balance a bit.
The first part of the triple option is to the fullback, straight ahead. And Pope, once again, number 63, Pope blocks the linebacker all the way out of the play, leaving the big room for Carr to go to close to the goal line. Carr has had 2 outstanding games the last 2 weeks, and today he's already has 25 yards and 4 carries.
They're measuring for the first down, and they are just short. But the man who made that play was the big guy named Pope from Seminole, Oklahoma, number 63.
This Oklahoma offensive line, as you can see, the Cornhusker defense has only allowed 4 touchdowns this season from rushing.
Well, this is a football game, and these are the 2 kind of teams, Frank, with their defensive abilities. You better cash in your opportunities.
You don't get very many. Oklahoma recovered the fumble and is taking it down to just short of a first down, but when you get them close, take it in. Otherwise, it leaves scars, and can cost you the game.
They need about a foot for their first down. Third down. Just outside the Cornhusker 1.
Bradley is very good on the quarterback sneak. Quick.
Dives over the top. He didn't get the goal line, but he got the first down. And so the Sooners now have 4 snaps to stick it in the end zone.
Why do you run the quarterback sneak in situations like that? Less ball handling. You don't have to take the ball back and hand it and regain the yardage. And the reason that Bradley is so good on the quarterback sneak, he's quick, very quick, he's tough, and he can just leap right over the offensive line, and he's running right behind an all-conference center in Thomas. There's Bradley, number 1.
First and goal, Sooners. Bradley again. Dives. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
There's Barry Switzer's reaction. Oh, boy. He really wants this ball game. Nebraska has won 3 times in a row. Nobody has defeated Oklahoma 4 times in a row since 1939. Through 42. I think we'll have that later. But Switzer needs this win. He wants that Orange Bowl chance again.
Tim Lasher for the extra point. Good. At 9 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Oklahoma Sooners get a Nebraska fumble and take it 26 yards for the TD. Well, the stocky dynamo Danny Bradley engineers the first touchdown march of the day. Talking with his coach Barry Switzer yesterday, here's what the coach says about him.
I think Danny will be okay, Keith. He had a good week of practice. He's played well against Missouri and Colorado. He's been bothered a little bit with his hand. He's tore some ligaments in his index finger in his right hand, but it hadn't affected his throwing. He's thrown the ball extremely well the last 2 ball games, but it's sore after the trauma of throwing the ball on Saturday. But he's had a good week of practice, and I don't think he should be any problem.
Certainly didn't look like it, did he?
He is certainly the key, the central figure for the Oklahoma offense. Running and passing, scrambling, option, it's all he.
Lasher kicks off. Low line drive type of kick. DuBose is going to come with it. And Doug DuBose comes up across the 20 to about the 23, where they'll put him down. A couple of scores quickly. BYU 17-14 over Utah in the 4th quarter. And Oklahoma State has defeated Iowa State 16-10.
Keep going back to defensive strategy. Here's what we were just talking about. As we're going back to defensive strategy, Oklahoma is going to put heavy against the run, trying to force Nebraska into audible to passes. Look at them. They're all right up on the line. Safety included.
Nobody down the middle. There's no center fielder. And Turner gives the ball to DuBose. And DuBose from the pull at the 24 out near the 27. The better part of 3 yards. Milazzo making the tackle. And again, I'll point out something that we noted during the Oklahoma-Texas ball game, that the linebacking core for the Sooners, Milazzo is a sophomore, Evan Gatewood is a sophomore, Bosworth and Jones are both redshirt freshmen.
But how they can fly. They can get around the ball.
2nd down and 7 from near the 27 for the Huskers. Turner rolls it, looks and comes one to the sideline. Kimball makes the catch. No, it is Schnitzler. Rob Schnitzler, the sophomore out of Battle Creek, Nebraska, that had slipped outside, number 85. And he's got a first down.
Keith, 101 coverage, a change play at the line of scrimmage. Turner shows right quick why he's done so well since he's become the starter in the midseason. He hits Schnitzler right on the money, first down.
He's a big, strong guy, Turner, 6'2", 205, and very aggressive, a junior out of Scottsbluff. So it's first down from the 38 for the Huskers now as they get a little offensive act going here, but Dubose on that carry will advance to the 39, and that's all.
Once again, we see the Oklahoma defensive strategy trying to put the Nebraska offense in the long yardage situations, forcing Turner to be the passer that he hasn't thrown but completed over an average of 7 passes a game this year.
Tom Osborne there, Dr. Tom. Second down and 9 from the 39. Turner still got it, wants to load it up and let it go, and he does, and Schnitzler can't pull it down. He was available, but the pass was a yard too long. He had beaten Jim Rockford.
Keith, the receiver had not only beaten Rockford, the safety man, Brown, was up taking the fake of the running play. You can see there's no center fielder. Brown is the one on your left trailing the receiver by 5 yards had the ball been on the target. Now Casillas is the best nose guard, number 92. The best offensive center in America may be Trainowitz, number 57. Look at the battle going on there. That will be the case all game.
Third down and 9. They got it. Turner tries to unload it and get it over to number 26, Rathman, the safety valve, but Casillas was climbing his back.
Here's number 92, Casillas. He's the one that forced the errant throw. What a great player he is. What distinguishes him to make him great? He not only is strong, he weighs 270, but he has the quickness of a linebacker. Watch him explode right into Turner, wrapped his arms around him. Turner was lucky to get the pass away.
Scott Livingston in to punt now. Buster Rhymes back for Oklahoma. First kick today by Livingston was good for 40, and he's got to hit it into a win. He has no pressure and gets off a dandy. Oh, that is a beauty. Over the head of the deep man Rhymes and well into the end zone, and will come back to the 20. Oklahoma will have it. It was a 61-yard punt by Livingston. With 7:18 to go in the first quarter, 7-0 Sooners.
Tim Brandt back here in Lincoln, Nebraska on the Oklahoma sidelines. As Oklahoma gets ready to go back on offense, let me tell you that the Sooners running back, Lydell Carr, suffered a laceration of the lip, some loosened teeth. He kept ice on it the entire time that the offense was off the field. He says he's okay, he's going to go with it. He put the mouthpiece in, he's ready to go, Keith.
All right.
They couldn't afford to lose him, Keith.
Rough way to start a game, though, is getting the fat lip.
And loose teeth.
First down for the Sooners. They figure to show him 15 sets and run 5 plays today. That's the basic offensive scheme. This is Carr. Quick behind the line of scrimmage. Penetrating was number 33, Dave Burke. And Carr does not get back to the line of scrimmage. He lost 1.
Well, the strategy can be played by the opposing team on defense. Nebraska bringing the cornerback on a blitz along with a strong safety, making it a 9-man line, feeling like that Oklahoma was not going to throw on first down this part of the field.
Spencer Tillman is into the lineup now. Patrick Collins was out there for the 1 play. There's Weddington out for 1 play. And on second down 11, Bradley. Quick feet, good scrambler, but he can't do much this time as the red-shirted Huskers jump all over him at the line of scrimmage. So the ball remains at the 19, where it'll be third down and 11.
Nebraska's number 1 on defense against the scoring, just over 8 points per game. That was a perfect example. On normal situations, Bradley would make yardage when he's scrambling, but the quickness of Nebraska defense held it to no gain.
You've got Shepard and Sewell coming wide to the left side now. They'll be flanked to the bottom of your picture on third and 11. Sooners have broken the bone. Give that ball a handoff to Spencer Tillman, functioning in that particular instance like a wingback, but there was just no place for Spencer to go with the ball. And now Oklahoma will have to punt it away on 4th and 9. So Nebraska should get fairly good field position, though I think the Oklahoma punt will have a little wind help. Winchester is in to kick. His first punt today was 41 yards at 5:30 to go in the first quarter.
Please, I'm sure the Oklahoma people are saying, don't out-kick your coverage.
It's very high, and I don't think he will this time. Tremendous hang time on that punt, forcing a fair catch call by Jeff Smith. And it'll be Nebraska at their own 34. Here's Jim Lampley.
Keith, I heard Tim talking about loose teeth. There will be some loosened teeth for sure in Fort Worth today, where Texas has gotten the early jump on TCU after a recovered fumble. This Dodge to Bryant touchdown pass of 20 yards has put the Longhorns on top 7-0. Jerry Gray recovered the fumble that set it up. TCU is down. Back to you, Keith.
Thank you, Jim. And here we go from the 34 for Nebraska as Turner gives the ball to Smith. And once again, the Oklahoma defensive people had cued themselves to the run on first down, and Casillas leads the defense.
Seldom do you see a player as big as Casillas, number 92, that can stunt like he can, run around the block, and still figure in the play. That's why he is one of the best defensive nose men we have ever seen play.
Nebraska has had the ball for 7 rushes, and they're minus 1 yard. Turner on second down, takes the reverse, keeps the ball, runs into 2 white shirts, and he is thrown out of bounds as he gets up across the 40. Brian Hall and Tommy Flemings. Well, the Oklahoma State Cowboys have won their ball game in rain and ugly weather, beating Iowa State, and they will now settle in probably and watch the rest of this ball game as they go down to Norman next week to play Oklahoma. And if Oklahoma should win here in Lincoln today, then that ball game next week will be for the Orange Bowl spot. This is Turner on third down, 4. Nope, they're not going to give it to Oklahoma. The Sooners jumped all over the football, but they won't get it. Mediazo was the man covering it, so it'll bring in the Nebraska punting team.
The blitz was on again, something that Oklahoma is gambling. When you blitz, you have to win that battle of collisions and get the ball and the quarterback, and this was a little shovel pass that we've seen thrown more this year than
the intended receiver was knocked down.
Couldn't come across the blitz, Keith. The blitz had knocked him off.
That's right.
His route.
Lucky to get it back, but they will have the punt now at 4:09 to play in the first quarter.
Oklahoma's been successful with the blitz. I'm sure Nebraska's thinking we're going to pop a big play here shortly.
Kick by Livingston is a tight spinning spiral, and it is down at the Oklahoma 26, a 34-yard punt. The Oklahoma Sooners leading in the first quarter 7-0. You never know when somebody's going to come up with a gimmick play. Oklahoma's ball, first down at the 26. They're set up in the tight wishbone now with Bradley. Looks like he might have checked off, but he goes with the basic play, the fullback Carr, and Carr gets a couple of yards.
Once again, Nebraska knows that Oklahoma is now trying to establish that middle, and they had their linebackers stacked right in behind them. Couldn't make any blocking assignments, and the play goes for short yardage.
LSU struggling with Mississippi State, trying to stay alive in their chase to the Sugar Bowl. And look what Notre Dame did to Penn State today.
Gary Powell said he was going to be 7-4. That was before the LSU game. He may be there.
Outside, we've got Tillman hemmed in and dropped for a loss. Back around the original line of scrimmage, Scott Strasburger, number 90, and Ken Graber, 52.
Strasburger, number 90, is the weak side in. When Oklahoma runs the option play, it's slow. It's very slow. The fullback is deep. The quarterback is deep. But Strasburger fights his way all the way across from the opposite side and makes the play.
You know, the defensive ends for Nebraska are quite light in weight. They're both around 6'2", but Weber weighs 210 and Strasburger 205.
But they've been 3-year starters, Keith. They're Cajun.
Third down and 10. Bradley gets it away, and the pass is complete to Jackson, and Jackson is knocked down well short of the line of scrimmage. It looked like Danny might pull it down and try to run for it, but then he spotted his tight end, and he comes up with a 3-yard pickup, and on comes the punting team.
That was a good series for the Nebraska defense. Very impressive. They stopped the fullback up the middle, they stopped the option play, and then the pass.
Winchester is in the punt. Watson and Smith are deep for Nebraska. No pressure. Long kick hanging up there for Smith on the 24. Chops it open. Penalty flag down. Jeff Smith all the way back to the 49-yard line. But let's see about the penalty. And you got an Oklahoma man hurt on the play. Number 37 down on the field for the Sooners, Todd Smith.
Seldom do you see a safety man split the middle on a punt return. Usually they try to go over and pick up the wall of blockers. As we see the definition of the penalty by Vance Carlson.
Bob Wagner, the umpire, Dale Shores, the linesman, Kent Houck, the line judge, John Schroeder, and Michael Borgert are the field judge, and the side judge, and the back judge is Dan Upson.
And we point out again that that's the 7th official. Here's Smith, how dangerous he is. 17 yards he's averaged on punt returns this year. Here's a clear indication of why he is so effective with it. He splits the defense, breaks a tackle, and comes close to going all the way. This is in a phase of football today where you cannot block below the waist on punt returns. Therefore, many coaches do not feel it's worth the effort to try to even work on it. Here's the clip. See if we can get a shot of it right after this play. We'll see the clip.
Nebraska backed up to the 13 on the penalty with Dubose and Porter lined up behind Turner. So they go from the 13 on first down. And will throw. Turner shoots one. Pass complete to number 80, Todd Crane, tight end.
One more look at the clip. One thing that's one of the fundamental mistakes of football, flipping on a punt. The very left of your screen, number 81 is clipped right there. I couldn't see the number. 89, I guess it was. I couldn't see the clip. I couldn't see his number, excuse me. Very much.
Gain of 8 yards on the pass play to Frame. Second down 2. Dubose for the first down. He's at the 26. Oklahoma's claiming the ball was loose, but they have marked him down at the 26. Well, Boston College had a pretty good scuffle with Syracuse today before they finally got going late in the ball game. West Virginia's lost 3 in a row. That game was played over in Tokyo last night. Army winning again. What a job Jim Young has done. And Maryland did a tap dance on Clemson today. My goodness. And Virginia had forged ahead, but Carolina came back to tie them at 24. It's first down for the Huskers. Give it to the up man, the fullback, Scott Porter, a 200-pound senior out of Nebraska City. And he's got it up around the 30. Georgia Tech beating Wake Forest. And time running down in the first quarter. And the Duke Blue Devils winning a game. That's the first win of the year, I guess.
Oh, it's the second win
of the second win of the year. We know our producer Chuck Howard's awake now.
Congratulations to Steve Floyd. He needed that one.
Boy, what a siege of injuries he's had. One week he couldn't even have enough people to practice. This is Turner, sidearm in the left field. Pass is caught by Todd Crane, number 80, the tight end. He's short of his first down. The ball is marked up around the 36, where Tony Rayburn, a 195-pound sophomore, came in and laid a lick on the tight end.
A little misdirection pass. You freeze the linebackers, and the tight end can find an open space, but a tremendous throw by Turner, retreating backward from the rush, and Rayburn, the 35, they say he is tough. He's the one that's taken the place of Stanberry, who was injured in an automobile accident.
That was a Flutie-like pass.
He running backward sidearm, that's right, Keith. But right on the money.
Yep. Little short.
Oklahoma still using the strategy, the tactics of forcing Nebraska to try to throw the football. The reason Nebraska leads the nation in rushing, 328 yards a game. So take them out of what they do best, put them in something they've had very little success with, namely passing. Purdue's had a big year, Keith. Major upsets.
I think they're going to get a bowl bid. Smith and Rathman are the setbacks now for Nebraska as they line up in the I formation on third down and a half yard. Smith, he's got the first down.
Ball carried by Jeff Smith.
They'll mark him at the 37.
to just pinpoint exactly how the Oklahoma defense has stopped the Nebraska rushing. 11 tries for 13 yards, Keith, when they've been averaging 328 yards a game.
Another team seemingly headed for a bowl, Kenny Hatfield's Arkansas Razorbacks.
He's had a great year.
SMU started slowly, but they've come on the second quarter. And
that's a big lead over Texas Tech. Texas Tech defense leads the conference.
It's first down, Nebraska. Turner going down the line on the option, keeps it, and weaves his way out to the 42. So after 15 minutes of play here in Lincoln, Nebraska, the Oklahoma Sooners lead the Cornhuskers 7-0. Having recovered a Nebraska fumble at the Cornhusker 26, the Sooners put it in the end zone, and that's the extent of the scoring. Nebraska working now from its own 42, second down and about 4.5. Turner pulls it down, tries to stretch out for his first down, and he'll come up 2 yards short.
Does the great defense have an advantage over an outstanding offense? Defense will win most of the time because the offense could not hurt the defense when they gambled. Look at the numbers. The only difference being, as Keith has already pointed out, the turnover. Everything else is even so far.
Ball is precisely on the 45.
There's the field position chart, Keith. You can see Oklahoma's had a distinct advantage, 20 yards.
That came from the opening kickoff, too, where the defense held, forced Nebraska to punt, and they took over and started their first possession at the 25. This is Jeff Smith, and Smith, cutting back sharply on that sore ankle, is able to get a first down at the Oklahoma 45. Here again, Jim Lampley.
Keith, you have already made reference to the day's most important score so far. Navy beating South Carolina 38-21. Two keys to the game. Navy, which was -3 rushing against Syracuse last week, ran for 196 yards today. South Carolina, which lived by the turnover in front of you and Frank last week, died by it today. The Gamecocks turned it over 5 times. Back to you.
Well, that black cloud that was hanging over Bobby Bowden's troops last week followed South Carolina up to Annapolis, didn't it? Inside play. Porter carries for Nebraska on first down, and he picks up about 3 yards. And now the Nebraska ground game, Frank, as we go to the opening moments of the second quarter, beginning to wedge out a little yardage.
And they've opened it up a little bit with passing on first down. The most interesting story about Nebraska is Travis Turner, walk-on quarterback. Just kind of fought his way around on the B team, freshman team. Then he makes it up to the starting lineup. But here's Casitas, number 92, fighting right off the block with a great block. Son of Trainovich stops it for short gain.
Second down and 7 from the 42. Turner loops one to the sideline. Got a man over there. The pass is good. Second catch by Rob Schnitzler. He's only 5'9", 170, but he's very, very quick. And watch him get out to that sidelines and get wide open.
Excellent throw going to the left. The toughest throw a quarterback has to make. Rolling to the left. Legal reception because possession of the ball and 1 foot in bounds.
Turner's now 4 out of 7, 36 yards. And he's hit 3 in a row. And it's first down, Nebraska, just inside the Oklahoma 30. Far and away, Nebraska's best possession of the ball game so far.
Changing the play again at the line.
Goes to the open side of the field, shoots his pass, and he won't get it back. It is intercepted by Jim Rockford.
Rockford is a senior. He invites, he creates the illusion that there's a one-on-one coverage, and Turner changes the play, but Rockford is smart. He lets the quarterback think the receiver is open. He comes right in front of him, intercepts it, and stops this threat. Oklahoma has the ball, leading 7-0.
The team now. Nebraska had that ball 10 plays, 57 yards, 3 minutes and 46 seconds. Nothing. They turn it over. And Oklahoma comes back now. First down at their 23 after Rockford's interception. Bradley hands it to the up man. And it's Lydell Carr over the 30, close to the 31. Again, Jim.
Keith, you mentioned the difficulty that BYU is facing against Utah. This touchdown pass from Bosco to Kelly Smith in the fourth quarter has now given BYU a little breathing room. They lead by 10 with less than 2 minutes to go. We'll keep you posted. Back to you.
Well, Cougars are undefeated. The way things are going, they may be the only one. Gang tackling by Nebraska on Lydell Carr. Right along the line of scrimmage, and Oklahoma will be looking at third down at about 3. Mark Munford, number 41. Watch him.
225 pounds, just a sophomore. When you speak to the coaches about him, they say he not only is good right now, he's going to be great before he finishes. That was a clear indication of how to play the run by a linebacker.
3rd and 3 for the Sooners. Bradley outside, gives it away to Tillman for the first down, and then some. Out of bounds at the Nebraska 42-yard line.
Keith, 3 times in the last 2 games, Oklahoma has pitched downfield forward beyond the line of scrimmage, and it's never called. I've never seen it called against the wishbone. Let's see if Bradley does, in fact, pitch the ball after he crosses the line of scrimmage, and does it, in fact, go forward. That's close. That could be a lateral, but I've seen it happen 3 times in the last 2 ball games. I've never seen the officials. The key block by Jackson sprung Tillman for extra yardage. The tight end made an outstanding play.
And the Sooners go from the Husker 42 with Lydell Carr, give him a yard. Insofar as Brigham Young and their breathing room that Jim mentioned a moment ago, they are the only undefeated team now remaining in Division 1A.
Here's Munford, number 41, the leading tackler. Look at the knack, the way he reads the play and just fights in and gets involved. No other coaches speak so highly of him. That demonstrates clearly what a great player he is.
2nd down, still close to 10 from near the 42. Bradley, a little quick pop over there to Spencer Tillman. And Tillman is clobbered by Mike McCafflin. Going down to New Orleans for you this week on ABC's Monday Night Football presentation. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the New Orleans Saints. Saints won last week. Pittsburgh Steelers got a chance to get themselves into the playoffs, having the opportunity to win that Central Division in the AFC. Saints are pesky. Last week, George Rogers played all the way. Earl Campbell did not play. 3rd down and 6. Bradley, a deep drop, runs away from the pressure. And they get him. Number 41, Munford again, making the play for Nebraska.
This is Munford's series. 3 successive plays. Great linebackers just make up for all the sins that you have had. Now, Stockman is the sack ace, number 76, I think it is. The left tackle gets the jump on Burks, the 59. Nellie makes the play, but Tyler Munford brings him down.
Dave Burke is deep now. Winchester to punt for Oklahoma, trying to hit a knuckleball and kill it deep downfield, and it takes the right kind of a roll for him. Bounces back across the 15, and it'll be Nebraska's ball, 1st down at their own 16. Oklahoma leading 7-0 with 9:55 to go in the 1st half. About the Casillas-Trainowitz matchup.
Well, it'll be interesting. Of course, Tranowitz won't always block Casillas. You know, I don't know how Oklahoma's going to line up. They'll undoubtedly at times have Casillas over a guard, most of the time on Tranowitz. And Tranowitz doesn't always block the guy on him, you know. But still, their confrontation will be interesting, and they're both great football players. And yet our guards at times are going to have to block him and do a good job. But he's the strength of their defense, and probably the strongest part of our offensive line is our center and guards.
And now Sundberg in at quarterback. It's no particular surprise because Tom Osborne said yesterday he was going to play Sundberg in the 2nd quarter, and here he is. Pitch comes back to DuBose, and DuBose coming over the left side. Moves it from the 16 out to the 21, got 5.
Tackle made by 42.
Sundberg started the season as the starting quarterback. Had some tough going, hurt his shoulder. Osborne told me yesterday he didn't really take him out because he couldn't perform. It was his shoulder was bothering him, and he couldn't put the stuff on the ball. Turner came in and just beat him out after that.
2nd down and 5. DuBose again. Riding him down is Brian Boswell, number 44.
Bosworth is just a freshman. Munford of Nebraska is a sophomore, but Bosworth weighs 225, has 4'6" speed also, loves to penetrate. We tell our linebackers, you shoot the gap if you make the tackle, and don't fail to make the tackle if you do shoot it. And it went right through and made it. He's a gambler.
3rd and 3. Sundberg goes back the other way to look for Swanson. He's got 2 blockers in front of him and a first down. And out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
Swanson had lined up at tight end, I believe. It looked to me like it was a tight end screen. I don't know where. Yes, Swanson has to be a tight end. He's lined up over at the top of your screen. He's the wingback, makes the block, sets up the screen perfectly, creates the illusion that he's trying to block the rushing in, setting up the screen for the first down. Well executed play.
The cowboy from Hershey makes another big play for the Huskers. And on first down, Sundberg waving that football around, my gosh, like a bouquet of flowers on his way to the prom. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. He's lucky to get it back. Whenever the quarterback turns up, he should protect the football. Here's what Keith was mentioning, pointing out. Watch Sundberg take his right arm and swing the ball high as he makes the cut. Right there. Wow. That's dangerous. Pulls it back, gets away with it as Reed, number 40, misses the play.
2nd down, 7 from the 40. That's Dubose bouncing outside. Oh, what a great block he got from number 73, Mark Benning. And he's got a first down for Nebraska.
These big offensive linemen pull and lead the play. Watch from the left of your screen. Benning, number 73, is 6'6", 290 pounds. Number 73 leading. Watch the block that he puts on the halfback. And a great play just by the arm. Who was that, Brant? I couldn't see the number, Keith.
Brian Hall.
Brown Hall, number 21.
Felt like a tree fell over.
Oh, 6'6", 290.
Jeff Smith in the I-back spot now. Ball pops up off the snap. And the quarterback, Sundberg, follows it and falls on it.
I can't help but believe that Trainowitz, thinking about the great ability of the nose guard, Casillas, is trying to get a little bit of jump, Keith, to make the block, and the snap, that's the second time they fumbled it. First Turner and earlier. Now here's Casillas. Right here, number 92. That's it. Oh, you can see Trainowitz fired out and left the ball. That's the reason. The fumble.
Dubose on a little delay. Looks for daylight. This time he's on his own, and he makes something out of it. What a run by Dubose. We saw Denby of South Carolina pull that kind of a move last week and break a touchdown run. And Dubose spinning around, went right around Brian Hall and almost broke it.
Keith, my son, watching the replay last week, said that's flag football. Making that 360-degree turn right there keeps him from grabbing the flag, and obviously you can't tackle him. Great run.
And it's first down for Nebraska at the Sooner 40. Sundberg still got it. Looking for Swanson. Goes deep down the middle for Schnitzler. He's got it. Great throw by Sundberg.
Here's the double fake up the middle. The safety man of Oklahoma is fooled completely as the ball, Sundberg hides it on his hip, and he looks for the receiver, Schnitzler. He's open, got one step on Rockford, number 2, leaves his feet and pulls it in close to the goal line.
First and goal to go, and into the middle goes Jeff Smith. And Jeff is down to about the 1 before the Sooners jump in.
Schnitzler is an interesting story, Keith. He's the backup kicker, had not been working at wide receiver until the backup receiver Gamble got hurt last week.
Yeah, but he only caught 2 passes coming into this ball game today, and today he's caught 3 already for 61 yards. Walter Mitty still lives, I tell you.
He's 5'9", about, what, 150 pounds?
70, they say.
170.
Doesn't look it, though. Second down and goal from the 1. Smith, touchdown, Huskers.
Here's the replay. Right over the top. Good offensive surge. Offensive line just moved out the Oklahoma team right over the top for the touchdown.
Dale Klein trying to tie it up at 5:34 to go in the first half. So we pull even between Nebraska and Oklahoma, 7-7.
Here's the scoring drive. Sundberg, quarterback, come off the bench, leading the team for the touchdown.
High-hanging kick goes to Rhymes. Buster has it at the goal line. He is fast, but Nebraska gets him at around the 23. Rhymes has not seen the ball today at the end of the pass. TCU getting on the scoreboard in that ball game in the Southwest Conference.
Tennessee, Johnny Majors continues to roll, Keith. But at this point, Nebraska seems to have the upper hand in both offense and defense. Oklahoma's done very little since the first possession when they took in a fumble for the touchdown.
So the Sooners now trying to respond. First down at their own 23. Danny Bradley hands it off to the fullback. And there's just nothing there for Lydell Carr this time. The 2 linebackers, Daum and Munford in particular, stacked him up. And California scores first in the annual big game out in the Bay Area.
Jerry Burnt's team of Pennsylvania wins the Ivy League championship.
It's their first time they've won it outright since
yeah.
59 or something like that.
Last year they tied for it, I guess.
Yeah. Second down, 9. Bradley gives it to Shule. He's stacked up. Mark Daum, number 51, was hunkered down and waiting.
He was hunkered down, Keith. The play, Texas gets the field goal, I guess, to go ahead TCU. Normally you think against a great running team defensive unit like Nebraska, reverse would be a good play. But not so. Nebraska defense are cagey. Remember, 9 starters back from last year, all of them seniors.
Ledbetter is in there now at fullback as they break the bone. Third down. Oklahoma's 3 out of 6 so far today. It's third down and 8. Bradley has it in his hands and the whistle stop him. And he was on a deep drop for the forward pass before the whistle got him.
Oklahoma has tried to add an auxiliary offense to complement their wishbone. Bradley has been pretty successful, Keith, I'd say, in throwing passes, but not against a team the caliber of Nebraska on defense. Nebraska very,
ball
very
foul.
impressive.
Movement by an interior lineman on the offense. Remains third down.
This is when you would expect Nebraska to blitz. Third and long.
Third and close to 14. Bradley back. Runs away from the pressure. Now they corral him. Back around the 12. Chris Spockman, number 76, the principal. This is a big old horse of 6'4", 260, a sophomore. I don't think he says 4 words a week.
He has had 7 sacks so far this season, 11 tackles for a loss, and you see he demonstrates why. Relentless pressure, second effort, what good defensive players are made of. Win the battle of second effort. That was a good illustration.
Winchester at the goal line. Hits the ball well.
Into the wind, Keith. He boomed it.
Smith. And Jeff Smith with a bit of a gamble on rather good coverage by Oklahoma. returns it a half a dozen yards and gets it back on the Sooner side of the field at the Oklahoma 47. It'll be interesting now to see if Nebraska's momentum carries over from their touchdown march. They certainly got good field position for this possession starting at the Oklahoma 47. Sundberg is the quarterback. Jeff Smith. That's just an old single wing power run there.
You used to call that the student body sweep, Steve. That's what it is.
Next week we'll be down in Norman for the annual battle between the Cowboys of Oak State and the Sooners of Oklahoma. We've got a Nebraska man down on the field. Of course, if Oklahoma should win this ball game today, then that game next week will be for the Orange Bowl.
Yes, that's correct. The Orange Bowl can make, if it be a tie between either Oklahoma State, and Nebraska, but Orange Bowl committee makes the choice and they've made it.
Second down and 4. That was Frayne hurt. Handoff on a delay to the I-back Smith. And now it's DuBose 22, and DuBose is close to that first down. Looks to me like he's got it. Hemer has come in at tight end now, replacing Todd Frayne.
Nebraska has two tailbacks, DuBose and Smith, who are approaching 1,000 yards for the season. DuBose may have already gone over it for today. He came in the ball game 971 yards. Well, listen to this, a 7-yard average per try.
Well, that's close, but they've got it. My eyes are not that good. I was guessing.
Oklahoma has been gambling on defense, and Sundberg came off the bench and threw the bomb, completed it, setting up the tying touchdown. When you gamble, you take a risk of getting beat deep on a pass.
They got 4 more snaps coming now from the Oklahoma 37. And Sundberg back, good protection, but nobody to throw it to. The Sooner secondary didn't give him anybody. And he pulls it down and picks up a couple of yards. Troy Johnson, the tackle.
Now, the Sooner secondary is without 2 of their great players in Johnson, the fastest cornerback that they had, and Stanberry, who was a potential All-American, the strong safety, both injured in an automobile accident. And I'm sure Nebraska recognizes this and is trying to pick on these young substitutes.
Certainly did their job that time. Sundberg rolls it left on second down and 9, turns it upfield and butts heads with number 44 Bosworth, and he gets to the 30, which leaves him roughly 3 yards short of his first down. I don't know that I'd want my quarterback butting heads with Bosworth. You figured that Chuck Stobart's Utes were going to give BYU a ball game, and they did down in Salt Lake. That is a surprise to me.
Notre Dame, after that LSU game, has really turned on and has a lot of momentum going for it.
Third down, long 3. Smith. Run down by Bosworth. Got him by the neck and hauled him down.
I said earlier that Bosworth is a gambler on defense, meaning he shoots the gap whenever he thinks he can get the ball carrier. Somewhat of a gamble to do that because the ball carrier outruns you. You've taken yourself out of the play.
Field goal try. Dale Klein, sophomore from Seward, coming in for a 49-yarder. He's got a little wind at his back. Not much wind right now. The flags are rather limp, but what there is going to help him. His longest has been 38. High and short. So he is short and wide to the right with 51 seconds to play in the first half. And here's a look at where the Sooners live. And Danny Bradley is run down and caught by Brett Clark, the senior strong safety, as he crosses the 35-yard line.
Keith Clark is 6'3", 210 pounds, and is the fastest back that they have. 4.4 speed. He's the 3rd leading tackler next to Jared Gray of Texas. Everyone says he is the 2nd best free safety in the United States. That was a tremendous play on his part.
Weddington is in the backfield now for the Sooners. Bradley gives the ball to Carr, and Carr is getting tackled right about the line of scrimmage. Stuckey, Rod Stuckey, made the stick
Keith is Stuckey, the graduate of Nebraska that's already been accepted to the Harvard Graduate School.
Yeah, Harvard School of Business. Right. Now here's a look at Nebraska. A nice feature with the coaches in today's ball game. You've got 8 seconds to play in the first half. I'm going to say it again. Buster Rhymes has not seen the ball except for the kick returns.
Keith, he is their big play threat. 6'3", 4'4" speed. Somehow they've got to find a way to get the ball to him. Use maximum protection. They're not using their maximum protection right now. If it's necessary, keep everybody in the block, but get the ball to your best threat.
Dennis Watkins right now lines up in a position where he's going to cover Rhymes. Let's see if Bradley throws it for him. Only 8 seconds to go in the first half. That's where he's going. And it's intercepted by Watkins. Rhymes has got him, slows him down, but he breaks it loose. Now gets a convoy up the sidelines and brings it back across the 45. They tried to get it to Rhymes, but it was a little too long and picked off by Watkins, and the first half is over, and it's 7-7 between the Huskers and the Sooners. Now here's Tim Brandt with Coach Osborne.
All right, Keith, thank you very much. First, let me get your impressions. I know you were upset. They turned the ball over a couple times and missed a field goal, but they played quite well besides that.
Well, Oklahoma's got a great defense, and we're playing hard. We felt it'd take a while to dent them. They played well early, and we're just going to keep going at them and see what happens. But we try to be a good fourth quarter football team, and so if we do it, that's probably where it's going to be.
Tom, they showed you a few new wrinkles offensively. They moved things to disguise them pretty well defensively early. Did that affect you guys at all early?
No, they really haven't done that much different than I've seen. Of course, I got the worst seat in the house, so. But I think everything's going okay, but it's going to be a great ball game, and anybody's going to win it.
All right, thank you very much. Good luck the second half, Tom. So that's the situation here at halftime with a score 7-7 between Nebraska. We'll be back after this commercial message and a word from your local stations.
Bust loose with, they better start showing them in the second half.
Oklahoma had 3 first downs. Nebraska defense was sensational, but so was the Oklahoma defense. The second quarter definitely belonged to Nebraska, both offensive and defense, but it's been my experience the team that controls the second quarter has that momentum and usually wins the football game. Oklahoma's got to find some offense, otherwise it's going to be fatal to their chances
What do they
to win.
have, 6 yards passing?
They have 6 yards passing. The big disappointment, I think, to Oklahoma fans must be that Bradley has not been able to be effective either running or passing. He's the key to their offense, and he's got to find a way to make some yards.
Well, they still haven't been able to get the ball to Buster Rhymes, and I think they're going to have to find Rhymes in order to come up with some big plays.
Last year, Rhymes caught a big pass, 64 yards for a touchdown against them. Nebraska's playing the same defense as looking at the film, and it seems to me that maximum protection, which Oklahoma's had very little of that commodity in that first half, might give Rhymes a chance to get deep into the secondary and maybe get open. Bradley can hit him if he gets a chance.
Well, it's 7-7 here at halftime, and right now, with this capacity crowd, number 136 in a row, is enjoying the University of Nebraska Cornhusker Marching Band. William L. Ballinger, director. Cornhusker Marching Band performing here at halftime at Memorial Stadium with our football game locked up in a 7-7 tie. As the band leaves the field, the University of Oklahoma football team coming back on, and from the other end of the stadium, the Cornhuskers come back. We're getting ready to kick off to start the second half of play.
This ABC Sports exclusive is being brought to you by the new Golf. It's not a car, it's a Volkswagen. By Vicks Sinex with instantly penetrating vapor.
We kicked off and got good field position and got a score out. That's why maybe I'd second guess ourselves. We ought to kick again, but we're going to go ahead and take the ball and see if we can get something going offensively.
Now, in this return here, I know you were concerned with one of your decisions. Can you tell us what that was?
Well, this one, the second half option, was our option whether the receiver kick. But we've got to make something happen offensively, so we got to go at them.
Okay, thanks, Barry. Back upstairs to you, Keith.
All right, Timmy, thank you much. And I don't know, Frank Broyles. I think I probably would want the ball. I don't see any reason for Barry to be second-guessing himself on the decision. Yeah, sure, he got out of that first possession in good shape and everything, but still.
So I think the reason he's second-guessing himself is he got a quick touchdown by kicking off.
True.
But the one advantage of taking the ball now, as we look at the numbers in the first half, is he'll have the win the fourth quarter.
Yes.
And that sometimes can be a big factor.
And it is at times brisk, and so far we have not had any rain, though the sky is quite leaden and gray now, and they're talking about snow later this evening.
Let it wait, Keith. Just please let it wait.
It's quite cool now. The temperature is surely into the 30s. Buster Rhymes and Patrick Collins are the deep people for the Oklahoma Sooners in white. A 7-7 ball game, and we go down to the second half of play. Dale Klein kicks off for the red-shirted Cornhuskers. They won't return that one. It's in the end zone, and it will come back to the 20. The Cornhusker defense now will line up with Bill Weber at defensive end, 210-pounder, Chris Bachman, 260, Ken Graber, middle guard, 245, Rod Stuckey, 245 at tackle, and Scott Strasburger, 205 at defensive end. Mark Daum is a linebacker at 6'3", 235, and Mark Munford, 6'2", and 225.
Keith, Oklahoma has averaged only 3.2 yards on first down. Nebraska has 5.8. I think that's the reason they've had a little bit the upper hand in that second quarter.
It is Lydell Carr, Steve Sewell, Spencer Tillman, and Danny Bradley in the backfield, and it's Sewell going in motion. Bradley hands it off to the fullback Carr, who dances to the outside, and will get little or nothing out of it as Brett Clark, the strong safety with help from Munford, strings it out and takes it out of play. Dave Burke is a cornerback, 5'10", 190. Neil Harris, the other corner, 6-footer, 190. Brett Clark made that last play, 6'3", 200, and Mike McCashlin, 6'1", 200. Second down and 10 for Oklahoma.
Carr has carried the ball 9 of the 11 times up the middle on first down.
This play is Spencer Tillman, and give him a couple of yards on it. Chris Bachman, the tackle. It's pretty much the same unit, in fact, is the same unit that opened the football game for Oklahoma out on the field offensively right now. And with third down and 8 coming up, some specialist changes defensively for Nebraska now. Ball is just outside the 21. It's really third and a long 8. And Oklahoma in the ball game today on third down conversions, 3 out of 8.
Going into the wind, too.
Bradley quickly throws one that is complete for a first down up at the 34-yard line. Derek Shepard, number 3, who had lined up outside, came back into the middle and makes the catch.
Comes right back to the football. All good receivers on curl passes. Plant that foot, come back to the ball. This keeps protection from the defense. Clark misses a tackle, but not before he gets some help from Munford, 41.
And he threw a good pass that time.
He drilled it.
Yep.
Yes, he did. Good quick release.
First down outside the 34 for the Sooners. Back he goes on first down. Down the middle he goes again. It's intercepted by Mark Daum. And the penalty flag down as Daum returns the football to the Oklahoma 30.
Bradley threw the ball too low. He had a receiver open in the middle, but when you throw the ball in that middle, you cannot throw it too low. The linebackers will catch it. Daum just showed that.
The clip is against Nebraska, so they'll back them up on that play to around the 45 or so.
Watch how low the pass is. Daum, number 51, makes the key, drops back. Now, after he shoves the receiver around, which is legal, the ball is right there, trying to get the ball in behind to the wide receiver. Clip on the play. Let's see if we can detect the clip, blocking from behind.
Pick one.
Might have been 2 or 3 on that.
Ball comes.
First down.
The ball comes back to the Nebraska 47.
Keith, this is about where Oklahoma got the ball on their first possession after kicking off with the wind, stopping Nebraska and forcing the kick. Let's see what Nebraska will do.
Sundberg starts at quarterback the second half. He came on in the second quarter and took him on a touchdown drive. They give the ball to Jeff Smith, and Jeff is up to about the 50. So give him 3 on the carry. As Oklahoma's defensive people are Darrell Reed, 6'2", 220 it in. Richard Reed is 6'4", 240. Tony Casillas, 6'3", 270 in the middle. Tommy Fleming, 6'3", 255. And Troy Johnson, the other end, 6'2", 215. The linebackers, Miliazo is 6'1", 225, and Bosworth is 6'2", 230. Second down and 7 now with Dubose, the I-back for Nebraska. Dubose has the ball, and the Sooners have him right at the line of scrimmage.
Look at the white shirts around the ball carrier. Oklahoma knew the play somehow because they lined up virtually every white shirt into the boundary right where they ran.
The secondary people for Oklahoma, Brian Hall with his new beard, 6'2", 200. Jim Rockford had an interception in the first half, 5'10", 180. Tony Rayburn, 6'3", 195. Free safety, and Sonny Brown is the strong safety at 6'2", and 190. And it's third down and 7 for Nebraska. Which looks like he's offside sometimes. He gets off so quick. Passes away, and it's overthrown, and he had a man. Scott Kimball was loose on the sideline.
The last time that Nebraska threw the quick out, Rockford intercepted it. Here is the way you burn a cornerback who plays up tight. Quick out and up. You can see the cornerback going right up to try to play it. Rockford was going to intercept that ball like he did earlier, but lo and behold, the pass had been on the money, had been a touchdown.
Oh, easy, 6 points. All he had to do was walk home.
Now Rockford will stay home for the rest of the ball game and stay deep and play the deep responsibility.
Livingston in to punt, averaging 45 on 3 kicks. One of them was a 61-yarder. He knocks this one up there. It's a tail dragger. And Buster Rhymes is going to take it at the 6 and go down at the 12, and you've got penalty flags on the field with 12:06 to go in the third quarter. So let's see about the flag. We could have another session of clipping going on here. That was a 43-yard punt and a 5-yard return. Buster let it go. I think it had made the end zone.
Yes, it would have, Keith. Another clip, as you just pointed out.
So we'll take a timeout while Oklahoma figures out what to do deep in its own territory. Well, the Sooners need some offense now as they come up with the football at their own 6-yard line after that clipping foul against them. And Bradley will have Carr, Tillman, and Sewell behind him. And Shepard wide. Do they dare go to the air down here? They don't on this one. They give it to Spencer Tillman. And Spencer, who has struggled all year long with a hamstring pull, skips through there for about 4 yards up to the 10 before Mark Daum brings him down. LSU loses to Mississippi State. That's a big, big upset in the Southeastern Conference. The Southeastern Conference Executive Committee, composed of the school presidents, meet on Tuesday. At that time, they're supposed to deliver their verdict on whether or not Florida will be eligible to play in the Sugar Bowl. Second down, 6. Fumble. Nebraska. Bradley had the ball stripped.
Bill Weber, the left end, that cagey young man has started for 3 years. Watch number 87, right to the bottom of your screen. He's going to reach in and jerk the ball right out of Bradley's hand. Now Barry Switzer will really second-guess himself for not kicking off beginning of the half.
Jim Scow covered the ball for the Cornhuskers, and it's Nebraska first down at the Oklahoma 11. Nebraska turned it over, and Oklahoma got a touchdown. Now the Sooners have given one up on the deep end of their field, and the ball goes to the fullback, Scott Porter. And Porter pounds down to the 6. Just thinking about that SEC situation, that would put some, if in fact, as you see the Nebraska offensive unit, if in fact Florida is barred from the Sugar Bowl by the Executive Council, then it makes that Georgia-Auburn game important tonight, doesn't it?
Which has been played tonight on ESPN.
Yeah.
That Georgia and Auburn, would, the winner of that game would only have 1 loss, although Auburn still has to play Alabama.
Yeah. Second down. And 6. And this is Smith, and boy, did he take a lick short of the line of scrimmage. Tony Casillas, number 92, got his head and shoulder in there. Looked like Tony was the man that really ricocheted the ball carrier.
Casillas, number 92, continues to make the big play. Consistently makes the big play. Coming off the block, right there, 57, Trainowitz gets 3, and he really hits Smith. That's as fine a tackle for a lineman coming off the block as you'll ever see. Remember the goal line stand against Texas that Oklahoma had, Keith?
Yep. It's third down at about 5.5, and Sundberg wants to throw it. Goes to the corner, and it's knocked down, incomplete. And that's a fine defensive play. The pass was intended for Brian Heemer, and I think it was Darrell Reed, number 40, who drops back to slap it away.
Sundberg should have laid the ball over the defensive man. Heemer is open for the touchdown. Watch this. All he has to do is float it with touch over the head. The red shirt is in behind for the touchdown. 40 is Reed. If that's number 40, Keith, he's the one that knocked it down.
So in comes the field goal try of 23 yards from Dale Klein. He hooks it, hits the upright, comes away empty, and ricochets out.
Another great goal line stand by the Oklahoma Sooners. Watch this kick. It's going to hit the left upright. He hooks it badly and low. It hits it right there. Comes back in the field of play. Oklahoma will get the ball in the 20 when we come back.
Well, now let's see if old Mo changes shirts.
It could, Keith. Anytime you give a team an opportunity to score and they don't put it in, the opposing team gets that momentum. You could see, likely to see some long games here.
From the 20. Spencer Tillman gets a couple of yards.
Nebraska defense has so much quickness there that it's just impossible to run sideways. Number 41, Munford, just the true sophomore, one of the few players that hasn't been redshirted, gets double teamed right there, but splits the block, fights through that double team, and makes the tackle. Goodness gracious. Don't see that very often.
Second down and 8. Bradley still got it. And the Huskers have got him right along the line of scrimmage. Well, Nebraska is storming on defense right now. Let's check in with Jim.
Well, you're about to see the field goal which created the worst nightmare possible for the Southeastern Conference. Artie Cosby of Mississippi State. There were less than 2 minutes left when he booted this 27-yarder, which gave the Bulldogs their victory over LSU and means that Florida has now won the Southeastern Conference Championship outright. Back to you, Keith.
It's the first one in history for them, and they're still not sure.
50 years. How long? 34 to this time. It's 50 years.
Bradley's pass is incomplete, intended for Shepard. Number 33, Dave Burke, made Derek Shepard pay for that almost catch.
Shepard's going to try to hook up out in the flat. Washington, number 43, is in front of Shepard, making the pass be thrown high. And 33, Burke, you said it right, Keith. He hits him right in the middle section.
Washington, incidentally, is the only freshman in the top 22 for Nebraska. Here's a high, wobbly kick that takes an Oklahoma bounce and rolls down around the 40 of Nebraska. And that's where the Cornhuskers are going to have the ball. Going back to that SEC situation, Florida having won the conference championship, but their future in postseason play is still to be resolved because of penalties. And LSU losing today with the Georgia-Auburn game coming up tonight, and it's in Auburn.
Keith, aren't we accurate in saying that the executive committee could take the championship away from Florida also?
They could. Travis Turner is back in at quarterback for Nebraska, pitches the ball to Doug DuBose, and DuBose slides out of bounds. He got just beyond the line of scrimmage, but maybe a half a yard.
On TCU in Texas was what?
10-9.
10-9.
Texas, yep. Yeah, Tennessee still looks to me like they're marching toward a bowl game.
Johnny, his team has come strong in November.
Yep.
Lost 2 and tied 1 early and has been undefeated in November.
There's another score out on the West Coast that's a dandy, too. Big surprise. Second down, still about 10. This is DuBose. Oh, what a cut. He put a whale of a move on number 35, Tony Rayburn. Rayburn was coming up and had him in his sights, and he cut inside of him and turned it into a big play.
What qualities distinguish one runner from another? Basically, these great runners run with their eyes, but they also have the moves, those instincts where they stop and cut back. Watch it right here, right around the defensive back, and made the first down. Good run by DuBose.
Ball on the Oklahoma 49 now. First down for the Huskers. Turner going down the line, gives it to DuBose, and he gets down to the 46 of Oklahoma for 3 yards. This time Rayburn got him.
Here's DuBose for the season of '84, only the 4th Nebraska sophomore to rush for over 1,000 yards. Who are the other 3? Ian Hips, I think. 1, Redwine maybe.
Yeah, and Reynolds. Bob Reynolds.
That was your time, not mine. 35, I think he played. Or 41, I'm not
41.
sure.
Second 41. Down and 7. He's going in the Hall of Fame this week. Ball flipped outside to Swanson. The wingback from Shane Swanson turns it upfield, and he's out of bounds at the Oklahoma 41.
Casillas, the number 92, has been winning some of the battles, but he's not going to win them all. He's human, plus the fact that he is being blocked by a great All-American center, and he watched Trainowitz move him back. The ball carrier fake is coming right up the middle, but it's not there. Option play outside for the gain. Good block by Trainowitz.
Nebraska, 3 out of 8 on third down tries today. It's third down and 2 now. Turner still got it, won't get the first down. He tried to turn it inside, and the Sooners nailed him down. Again, Jim.
Gentlemen, well, let me add one more piece of news on Florida's victory in the locker room following this game. University of Florida President Marshall Chrysler announced that Galen Hall has been hired as permanent head coach of the Florida Gators. Let history record that on the day on which he was hired, he was 7-0 and unbeaten in his career as a head coach. Good news for people in the Big 8 because Galen was for quite some time Barry Switzer's offensive coordinator at Oklahoma. Now he's a head coach, Frank.
And back, he was a great quarterback at Penn State, going back even a little further.
Good football coach, man. Good coach.
Good break. Like to see those assistants promoted.
That's a high hanger by Livingston, and it's going to roll around and be killed deep at the Oklahoma 6. A 35-yard punt, but that doesn't begin to tell you the value of it. Locked up in a 7-7 struggle. And the Sooners have had terrible field position in this second half. Average starting point, they're 13. Right now, they're cranking up on their 6. Last time they were down here, they turned it over. Nothing for Steve Sewell. Mark Munford.
You cannot make a better play than Munford makes it. This is the 4th time I've said that. Watch him scrape off to the outside. He recognizes the play, comes off of the back of the Ian Weber, clearly by himself. Everybody else is blocked. He makes the tackle.
He's the youngest Nebraska starter, too, only 19 years of age. What's he going to be when he grows up?
That's what the coaches told me yesterday.
Well, Texas stretches out the lead a bit now over the Horned Frogs. 17-9. Second down, still 10. Danny Bradley hands it off to Lydell Carr. And Carr, just on pure muscle, gets up to about the 13 before Strasburger takes him down. Nebraska, a win or a tie, sends the Cornhuskers off to the Orange Bowl. Oklahoma win will send the Sooners into next week's showdown with the Oklahoma State Cowboys at Norman, and the winner of that one will go to the Orange Bowl.
Oklahoma's still grasping offensively, Keith. They're moving around, trying everything. Nothing works. They've only made 3 first downs, 4 now, I guess, for the ball game.
3rd and 8. Bradley, outside it goes, nothing doing. Sewell had no real estate to run on. He got up to about the 9, but that was it. And so Oklahoma will have to kick it away one more time, and once again, it looks like Nebraska should get very good field position out of the exchange.
This Nebraska defense feels deep down that they cost their team the national championship last year. Here are the stats this year. Very quietly, it's not been mentioned, but they feel like they're out to redeem themselves, and they feel this game today will give Nebraska a big chance at another anti-national championship.
Gets some pressure on the kicker, Winchester, but he gets it away, and a fair catch by Jeff Smith. So once again, Nebraska sets on the Oklahoma side of the field. First down at the Sooner 42 with 5:07 to go in the 3rd quarter. And that's what's happening today amongst the top 10 folks. The big story, of course, that South Carolina lost to Navy and LSU lost to Mississippi State, and USC is losing to UCLA.
Well, Keith, last week we had, what, 5 of the top 10 got beat?
Yep.
5 of them. So football, the parity is certainly in college football today.
Nebraska comes up with Smith and Leffman lined up behind Travis Turner. Turner gives the ball to Shane Swanson, and Swanson comes inside the 40 to the 39. Again, let's go to our control center and Jim Lampley.
All right, Keith, here's a piece of lightning from Fort Worth. It was 3rd down, short yardage, early 3rd quarter for the Longhorns. Play action, the pass from Dodge to Terry Orr, and Orr sailed to a 63-yard touchdown, which has now given the Longhorns a 17-9 lead over TCU and Jim Wacker. Back to you, Keith.
And 2nd down and 7 here at Lincoln. Nebraska and Oklahoma tied at 7-7. Nebraska's been threatening this whole 3rd quarter. Down the middle. Knocked away. Great play by Sonny Brown. Pass intended for Rob Schnitzler, and Schnitzler had the step on the defender on his back, but the man in front, Brown, makes the play.
The safety man, Brown, should have been even a little deeper. It shouldn't have been a tough play for him, but he got fooled by the fake, and he has to leap and get the left hand up and deflects the ball away. Here's another angle that you see what Keith was saying. One step lead there. Perfect throw. It could have been completed, except for Brown's great effort.
3rd down and 7. Turner, short one over the middle to DeBosch coming out of the backfield, and a Nebraska first down at the Oklahoma 30.
Poised by Turner. His receivers downfield recovered. He stays in the pocket. There's no rush. No rush by Oklahoma. The linebackers dropped too deep. DeVos, the player that was faked the ball to in the backfield. Here's why there's no rush. Right here. Here's the man that Oklahoma depends upon the rush. First, Traderwitz, the center. Now the guards come over. Orton and the back fullback helping out.
Turner back to throw again on first down. Now pulls it down and runs it back up to about the 30. May have lost a yard on that play. That time Oklahoma was able to get some penetration. Richard Reed, for one, fought his way through the crowd.
Oklahoma defense are without 4 starters. 2 of them potential All-American football players, and Murphy, who was a defensive end, all Big 8. Stanberry, all Big 8 for 2 years, both out of this ball game. Tupper, the starting tackle, and Johnson, the starting halfback.
Second down, 11, Nebraska, on the Oklahoma 31. Little lob now. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Brian Heemer was so alone, he was lonesome. And Turner overthrew it.
Here's what I was thinking about earlier. Kevin Murphy and Stanberry were really significant players for this football team. Both all-conference out for the season. Andrew Johnson, the best one-on-one player in the secondary. Tupper, starting tackle. But this Oklahoma team has continued to fight defensively.
3rd and 11 now.
Lead the nation against the rush.
Option. Dubose got away, but held short of the first down. So I would think we'll see Klein maybe for another field goal try on 4th down. Next week, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State down in Norman. And I would think that both these teams, Oklahoma teams, are going to be heading for a bowl.
Very definitely, Keith. Oklahoma State has had a great year under Pat Jones.
Scott Livingston's going to try the field goal. It won't be Dale Klein. It is Scott Livingston. They're trying to, let's give him a chance to see what he can do from 46 yards. And his longest ever is 22. Got it up. But he hooked it left. So twice Nebraska has gone for the field goal in the 3rd quarter, and twice they have been turned away empty with 2:36 to play. Defense can walk this tightrope. I mean, they have just been exposed to enormous pressure by Nebraska here in the 3rd quarter, but so far they have not yielded.
The Oklahoma defense can run. And when you have that kind of speed, you stop the long play, and they've held Nebraska to minimum yards, finally sacking them for a pass attempt.
First down from the 28, and that must seem like the promised land to have that much room behind them. Bradley gets one down the middle for Buster Rhymes. He's got it at the Nebraska 42.
That's exactly what you were talking about earlier, Keith. Maximum protection. Take Rhymes and send him right down the middle. There's no safety man. 2 cornerbacks playing deep, opening spot, and Bradley was right on target. You'll see that Rhymes is going to get in behind the linebackers and in front and inside of the 2 safeties. Ball right there. Good catch by Buster Rhymes, number 4.
Well, he's a big guy, Frank. He stands 6'4", and he can jump another 4 feet. He's quite a target. First down at the Cornhusker 42. Bradley runs around and gets it to about the 38. So he's got about 4 yards on that play before Munford makes the play.
Here's Munford again, backing up the pass, but as soon as he sees the scramble, he has the awareness, the instinct. Goodness gracious, Jackson, the end, tries to block him to no avail. He just shucks him aside and helps on the tackle.
Watching Munford play this ball game, I have the feeling that he saw the Oklahoma playbook. He has been in the right place all day long.
That's the mark of a great linebacker.
This is Bradley. And penalty flag down as Danny Bradley gets loose on the sidelines and runs it down to the 12. But look out for a holding
Keith,
call here.
I think it was a face mask.
Could have been. Could have been. Weber might have grabbed his face mask when he went around the corner. They threw that thing toward the stack, though, and it was quite a melee. It's a face mask, you're right, and it's against Weber. It's a 26-yard run by Danny Bradley, and it's first down Oklahoma at the Nebraska 12.
when you block Munford, you got a chance to make yardage, I guess. Watch what happens. A fake up the middle. Oh, they lined up the wing back where he had a blocking angle so that he could get the blocking angle on Munford. Munford couldn't get around the play. Sewell is big, 6'2", 210 pounds, keeps him out of the play.
Foul. Nebraska declined. First down.
Vance Carlson, the referee, was under the old rules of 57 years of age to retire 2 years ago. But they decided he was too good an official to let go, and two, he was healthy enough to keep on going, and he wanted to, and he's still doing a fine job. This is Bradley handing the ball off, and skittering into the line is Spencer Tillman. He's down to about the 10.
Keith, we've seen so many times when a team looks like they're going to score, and Nebraska had, 3 opportunities in this third quarter. They couldn't cash in, and all of a sudden you get a break, and Oklahoma gets a big break, a pass, and now they're threatening. It happened so many times, a shift in momentum.
You got Darren Berryhill in the ball game now at tight end, number 85. So you got Jackson and Berryhill both in there, 2 tight ends. They break the bone. They bring Sewell back toward the line of scrimmage and hand it to Lydell Carr, and Carr hits to the 5, but there's a penalty flag.
Moving by the offensive lineman ahead of the step, too early.
Oh my.
That's a tough break. That's 5 yards you don't want to give up. When you have second down and 8 on the 12-yard line, you certainly don't want to have second down and 13 because there's not much room to throw the passes, Keith. You got that end zone line.
Ball foul. Movement by interior lineman, Oklahoma. Second down.
Ball comes back to the 15.
That's Barry Switzer talking to his coaching staff.
Second down from the 15. They can get a first down at the 2. Bradley. Got to keep it now.
Clark. Keith, that's a tremendous play by the safety man. He's got to fill the alley. He's just like another linebacker against the option play. Watch at the bottom of your screen, number 10. Now, he's the safety man, but the safety man on option play is free. You cannot get anybody to block it. And his assignment, fill the alley between the end and the cornerback. Cornerback being number 11 has got the pitch. Who's going to get the quarterback? Only one man can get it. That's 10.
Third quarter is over, and we've got a 7-7 ball game. Back after this commercial message and a word from our local stations. Played most of the game because Patrick Collins is penciled in as a key individual in a little dipsy-doodle play where he may very well take the pitch, throw the ball back to Bradley, and we'll see what happens. Let's see if this is the place they've decided to call it. Well, there it is. Here you go. The only thing wrong with it, Nebraska's eating him alive. And the pass is intercepted.
It hit the ground, Keith. It did not call an interception.
Neil Harris, I guess, didn't have control of it as he went down. And so Oklahoma dodges one more bullet. You put those plays into effect, but you can't anticipate how aggressive the defensive people are going to be, and they're the ones that did it in, and Oklahoma now will get a field goal opportunity as Harris was unable to come up apparently with the interception. 32-yard field goal try by Tim Lesher. A lot of leg and good. Oklahoma goes into the lead 10-7 with 14:49 to play in the game.
Let's look and see if we can tell conclusively whether it's an interception or not. Remember, the receiver, the defensive back must catch the ball and pull it in under control, but you can see, Keith, it looks like it slipped right out between his legs. I don't believe he ever had control of it.
Well, if they can't call it from that distance.
Yeah, that's the key point. 2 officials right there.
Yeah.
Well, Oklahoma staved off with a great defensive effort all during that third quarter. Staved off the potential points by Nebraska. And then as soon as they got the win, they got the ball in for the 3 points.
Well, Nebraska had a chip shot field goal opportunity, and I mean a chip shot, a 26-yarder or something like that, and they didn't get it.
They've had 2 field goal attempts and missed both of them. Yeah.
So now the Sooners leading 10-7 will kick off. Swanson and Dubose are deep for Nebraska. Number 17 and 22. So far, no rain and no snow. Long sailing kick, no return here. Out of the end zone, and on we go to New York City.
Well, Keith, I think you and Frank will both get a kick out of seeing this Texas touchdown because you know the story of the young man. After 3 knee operations in 10 months, Edwin Simmons is really still getting his feet wet. But there he made a nice cut to get into the end zone from 10 yards out and give the Longhorns what is now a 14-point lead over the Horned Frogs. But Kenneth Davis has just run the ball deep into Texas territory, so they're threatening. Back to you, Keith.
Thank you, Jimmy. Travis Turner, Scott Porter, Doug DeVos, the backfield for Nebraska. And it's the up and Porter. And Scott Porter runs it for 8 yards.
Keith, this is the worst field position that Nebraska's had during the second half. When they had the advantage of the win and Oklahoma could not make a first down, they kept good field position, couldn't get any points on the scoreboard, and that puts them in the hole right now.
14-20 to play in the ball game. Second down, 2, short 2. Turner goes for his first down with DeVos carrying and gets it out to the 32 or thereabouts and gets the first down.
Nebraska's made up their mind. They're going to block Casillas, number 92, the great nose guard of Oklahoma. Let's see how they do it right here. First the center, Tradenwitz, who's a potential All-American. And then Orton, number 67, comes in. And I believe the left guard, about 750 pounds. Granger weighs about 280. He's helping on the play.
On first down, they give the ball to DeVos. And Paul Migliazzo, number 42, the weak side linebacker, came shooting through there. And decks him for a loss back just inside the 30. South Carolina's first loss to the Navy. Stopping their unbeaten string. BYU is the only Division I-A undefeated team now after their win today. And Oklahoma State struggled through heavy weather to beat Iowa State and Florida. Beat Kentucky to win the Southeastern Conference Championship unless the Executive Council takes them out of it. This is a quick pop to Shane Swanson, the wingback who had drifted to an outside receiver spot. And they marked the ball up around the 36. LSU was upset today, number 9 ranked, by Mississippi State to throw the Southeastern Conference situation into quite a mess. Notre Dame walloped Penn State today, 44-7, unquestionably their best game of the year. And Boston College came late to beat Syracuse by 8. West Virginia losing their 3rd straight of the season. 3rd down and 5 now for Nebraska at their own 36. 10-7, Oklahoma leading here in Lincoln. And Travis Turner shoots one to Swanson, and Swanson's got a first down for the Cornhuskers as he makes the catch, slides out of bounds at the 47-yard line.
Best short yardage pass in football is just a little 2-man pattern out in the flat on the strong safety, and Swanson comes in motion, then goes back to the outside. He has a big lead on the cornerback Raven trying to cover him for the first down. Very critical and well-executed play by Turner, the quarterback.
Turner, ups once, goes deep. Schnitzler comes back for it and can't get it. He almost got, Rockford slipped a little bit, and Schnitzler turned back inside and came very close to catching the ball.
Here's Travis Turner, the quarterback, a walk-on, been around 4 years, never gave up, finally worked his way to the varsity and into the starting lineup, and has led Nebraska to 5 straight easy victories. There's what he's done so far today.
12:15 to play in the ball game. 2nd down and 10 for the Huskers at their own 47. Option down goes Turner. Ball pops loose. Oklahoma's got it. Miyazo knocked it loose, and Troy Johnson recovers it.
Blitzing linebackers destroy the slow option play. Watch how slow the play is. Turner's going to feint. He's going to wait, but the blitzing linebacker, number 42, hits him right there. The ball pops out a little bit late. Close call there.
I thought he might have been down.
I did too, Keith.
12-12 to play. The Sooners have the ball and lead by 3. Cornhuskers' second turnover of the ball game. Third turnover.
One interception, and this is the second fumble. Yeah.
And it's just short of the 40. Crowd getting into the ball game now, yelling defense. Bradley coming down the line, gives it to Shepard. Shepard turning the corner, and good defensive play by Nebraska to keep him from getting up the sideline.
And it
strung him out well.
Keith, it was a pass intended on the end of it to Jackson, the tight end, who was deep. But watch the speed of Shepard. This is what, the third Shepard, or is this the second one? Third Shepard to play for Oklahoma from Odessa, Texas. You can see he outruns Noonan, 95, the tackle. Weber comes over, he outruns. Who is that making the tackle?
Munford.
Wow. He's all over the field.
Ball comes back to the 41, second down, about 11.
If I had a team, I'd want to start with him, Keith.
Franchise. Bradley fakes it, keeps it, got to turn it upfield. Clark.
Golly. Picturesque play by the safety man. You can't block him unless you crack him. Looks to me like Oklahoma ought to take their wide receiver and crack him in on the safety man and then try to do something outside. That's the next stunt that you can do with the wishbone. What a play Clark made.
He made two of those in this quarter.
Picturesque, just like you teach it. Number 10, 6'3". Boy, he has got a great future ahead of him in professional football.
If he wants to play it. 3rd and 9. Back goes Bradley. Gets it away. Got a screen set up out there for Keith Jackson. And Jackson, the tight end, fighting for the marker. He got there.
He did, Keith. 235 pounds. We were trying to recruit Keith Jackson from Little Rock, Arkansas. We were going to play him at halfback. And you can watch how strong he is, 235 pounds. Mumford's the man that's going to make the play, but Jackson weighs 235, runs a 4.6 40, screen pass. Here it is right here. Mumford gets it. Now watch him keep going for the first down. At least 5 yards for the critical yardage, making the first down.
The Sooners are sitting on the Cornhusker 30-yard line, leading by 3, and Nebraska had a lot of opportunities in the third quarter, and the Oklahoma defense kept them away. 11 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the game now. Bradley gives it, this time to the up-man Carr. And Carr is brought down by Munford.
I can't be quiet. It's amazing how great linebacker is around the football. The one thing, if you ask a coach what makes a linebacker great, you can see that he diagnoses the play. He reads the play, and he's only a sophomore. As Keith already pointed out, he's 19 years old, the youngest player on the Nebraska football team that's in the lineup. Another sensational play, stopping Carr for 2 yards.
Danny Bradley's cranked things up, too, in the second half. In the first half, he was minus 2 yards in his offense, pass and run. Second half, he's got 86. Second down and 8. Bradley trying to go to the corner and can't get there. This time it's Bill Weber making the play for Nebraska. And again, Jim.
Keeping you up to date on the drama in Fort Worth, Keith, moments after an Edwin Simmons fumble had given TCU the ball at the Texas 11-yard line. This Sharapa to James Manus touchdown pass has brought the Horned Frogs back into contention in that ball game. It is 23-16. They kick the extra point, and there's plenty of time left for TCU in that ball game. Keith?
Jim Wacker's really pulled a miracle down there.
Did you see that halftime when he was giving the pep talk?
Yeah.
Before the Arkansas game? Yep. Wow, no wonder they won.
Third down and about 12. Pressure's on, they've got him. On the third down blitz, Nebraska buries Bradley back at the 41, and they take him out of field goal range. The third sack of the ball game. It was led by Mark Daum.
The blitzing linebackers. Oklahoma is not much of a passing team. It's an auxiliary offense. You can see Daum 51 is wide open. No one touched him. Someone busted the blocking assignment, letting him come through clean.
So they have to punt. Winchester would love to kill it deep. Got a chance at it. No, fair catch is now called. And making the fair catch is number 33, Dave Burke. So Nebraska has the football at their own 11-yard line, trailing by 3 defensive units.
No way. Had to be a defensive struggle.
Dubose is the I-back, Rathman is the fullback, and Sundberg is back in at quarterback, and this is Dubose. Boy, he just came thundering out of there for an 8-yard pickup before Sonny Brown brought him down.
Now Sundberg is back in the lineup. Started the season as the regular. Had a sore shoulder, got benched. Turner came in the Oklahoma State game. Now he's been alternating, and he's a local youngster here from Lincoln, Nebraska. Led the Nebraska to the only touchdown of the ball game.
Second down and 2, just short of the 20. Inside man is the fullback. A powerhouse run by Scott Porter for a first down across the 30 to the 32.
Now that's a momentum builder, those two runs, Keith, as we look at Tom Osborne, who is a master at the offensive game of football, in my judgment, right at the top of the list, play callers and play strategists.
UCLA beating up on USC. There's another top 10er taking its lumps. The Rose Bowl team, Ohio State, will play USC in the Rose Bowl.
Ball carried by Sundberg.
UCLA right now is winning the bragging rights in Los Angeles. Darrell Reed makes the defensive play
Second down, 9.
for Oklahoma.
Keith, Southern Cal's already clinched the Rose Bowl bid.
Right.
I think we should mention that Swanson, the wingback, has been lined up at tight end. Early in the ball game, he caught a screen pass and made a big play out of it. They may be cooking up no, he's back out to wide receiver this play. Something Tom Osborne does so well, gadget plays.
Second down and 9. Sundberg options. Pass to the sideline. Not good. Schnitzler was over there, number 85, but they've apparently called him out of bounds.
The safest pass in football, rolled to the wide receiver, was covered 1-on-1. What happened, Sundberg looked downfield at Swanson. Swanson was covered. By the time he could reload and get the ball out to the wide receiver, it was too late. Keith, you see him make that little look inside to the Swanson, but that caused the throw to be delayed.
So now Nebraska trailing by 3 points, 10-7 with 7:21 to play in the game. Huskers are looking at 3rd and 9. They're 5 out of 12 on third down conversions. Rolls it toward the double wide side. Pass is thrown. Kimball's got it. First down. Ball's on the Oklahoma 49.
That was a strike. I mean a strike. Two Sooners were right around Kimball, number 88. The ball had to be thrown perfectly. Sundberg was right on target. Again, the rollout. Nebraska is primarily a running football team. Their passing game consists mostly of rollouts and play-action passes. But you can see the ball is thrown right on the money. Two Sooners were right there, could not make the play. Rockford makes the tackle.
First down at the Sooner 49. Delay handoff. Dubose is decked short of the line of scrimmage. And it's Tommy Thimmons making the tackle for the Sooners. It'll be second down, 11.
If Dubose, Keith, had broken to the right, he'd run right out the gate. He made the wrong cut, something that happens sometime on the draw play.
66 yards on 17 carries now for Doug Dubose. Ball is right at midfield. Sundberg drops it short out of the backfield. Dubose on his way. It's a foot race. And Brown knocks him out inside the 10 at the 8.
substitute for speed. When the receiver, with the speed of Dubose, catches the ball against the green, the backs are rolling this way. You can see he turns on that afterburner and just outruns everybody. Finally knocks him out of bounds on the 7-yard line right there.
What patience by Sundberg. First and goal to go from the 8. Smith is in now, replacing Dubose. That'll get him a little wind back in him. Give it to Smith. Smith to the 5. A win or a tie will send the Nebraska Cornhuskers on their way to the Orange Bowl.
I think we should point out again, Oklahoma's goal line defense stopped Nebraska in this position earlier in the 3rd quarter, stopped Texas in this position in the 4th quarter. A few weeks ago, they know how to play that goal line defense. Don't give up right there. That's when the defense really has the leadership needed to stop them.
2nd down and goal from the 5. Sundberg, the quarterback, to the 2. Boy, he almost slipped in there, but Bosworth caught him and drilled him at the 2.
It took a perfect tackle by Bosworth to bring him down, don't you think, Keith?
Looked like it.
Sundberg is turning up inside on the option play. Miliazzo is outside. The other linebacker scraping off. Had Sundberg been able to twist, he might have followed in for the touchdown.
Dante Jones would go in to replace Miliazzo, who had to come out, shaken up on the play. Here's Paul. Got a timeout call. We got 6 minutes, 11 seconds to play in the game. 10-7, Oklahoma, Nebraska. Knocking and goal to go. The ball is just at the Oklahoma 2. A 10-7 ball game. Smith and Porter lined up behind the quarterback, Sundberg. Up man, the fullback, Porter, and he dives and didn't get there. He didn't get there. He's just short. They've got to kick the field goal, Frank.
Field goal, tie.
They've got to kick the field goal and take the tie.
I don't believe I would on the 1-foot line. I don't believe I would, Keith.
Oh, no, boy.
I'm going for the win.
Watch Dante Jones.
Oh, he saved it, didn't he?
Yeah, but the tie is going to put you in the Orange Bowl anyhow. They're going.
Yeah, I guess it would.
Jeff Smith, he doesn't make it. He fumbles the ball.
What a tremendous effort. You're right, Keith. I kicked it.
Yeah, now you say it.
I wouldn't have run wide. I would not, because on a 1-foot line, it's a sellout defense, 11-man line. But what another fantastic goal line stand. The pitch is the toughest place to make yardage on because you get a corner defense. It's the same thing Texas did. They ran wide on 4th down. Is that right, Keith?
Yep.
And the Oklahoma cornerbacks, you can see that Smith tried to lateral the ball across the goal line, hoping one of his players would fall on it, but it was declared dead.
Yeah, it was. Not a fumble. There's Brian Hall, number 21, the corner that made the play for Oklahoma, and the Sooners now will try to grind it out. And time is now the ally of Oklahoma. 5:28 and counting to play in the ball game, and the Sooners lead 10-7.
On the last time when Nebraska scored, Keith, from the 2-yard line, they went right up the middle. Here's another look at the great play by Hall. He takes on the blocker, sheds the blocker, separates from him, and makes the tackle on the open field on a runner like Smith. Hall is the substitute and is playing for Johnson, the starter who was hurt in the automobile accident.
They'll be opening the doors for him if this game stays this way. Up man Carr. Boom. Hit for those 2 linebackers, Munford and Dahm.
Now the clock is becoming a factor right now.
Yes, sir. I still say
kick the
a
field
tie
goal.
puts them in the Orange Bowl.
Yep. And on the 1-foot line, on the 2-yard line, I should say, on Nebraska's other touchdown, they ran right up the middle. There's Hall, number 21, a senior who had been a backup cornerback for the starter Johnson. Took his place 2 weeks ago after Johnson and Stanberry were injured in an automobile accident. is he fired up into what a great play he made, Keith. If they go on and win this ball game, he'll go down and he'll have his picture in the athletic dormitory.
4.5 minutes to play, though. It's 3rd down and 7 for Oklahoma. They spend the time out here. If they don't do something dramatic and get 7 yards or more, then the Nebraska Cornhuskers are going to have the ball probably somewhere around midfield anyway. And prowling. On the other side, Tom Osborne. This is a big moment here for both teams. It's 3rd down and a long 7. Otherwise, Oklahoma's going to have to punt it out of the end zone.
How about a quick kick?
It's hard to effect out of the wishbone. They give it to Tillman. And Spencer can't go much. He gets up to about the 6, and the kicking team comes in. And now, Heavy hangs the load on Mike Winchester. He's kicked pretty well today.
And he has the wind. I think we should always point out he has a little breeze coming behind him. And remember that this was a situation of similar to this when Oklahoma State punted, and Mr. Swanson took it and went all the way to the touchdown. Kick it high if they're going to kick it down.
Good kick. That's a dandy. All the way back to the 37 goes Smith. Fumbles the football. Oklahoma's got it. A 58-yard punt. Smith had the ball stripped away, and the Sooners pounced on it. I believe it's Jeff Hake that's going to come out of that wrestling match with a football. 47.
What a break for Oklahoma. Well, and give credit to Winchester, the punter. How far did he kick that?
58 yards.
58 yards. Let's see how we can tell how the ball was stripped. Richard Dillion, number 41, stripped him of that football. It falls on the ground.
Jeff Hake recovers it.
Oklahoma has the ball.
At the Nebraska 43.
Jeff Hake, number 47.
Well, I reckon the Cowboys are probably watching, huh?
You better believe they are.
Ball is handed off to Spencer Tillman. And Tillman gets a couple of yards out of the carry with the clock stopping at 3 minutes and 36 seconds. We're going to see the Cowboys against Oklahoma next Saturday. And if the Sooners hang on to their 10-7 lead and beat the Huskers here in Lincoln, then you're going to see the Orange Bowl decided down in Norman next week. And then on December 1, we'll have a doubleheader for you. And I can't tell you what the games are going to be, but we will definitely have the doubleheader, the cream of the crop in the CFA for you on December 1.
Here are the turnovers by the quarter keeper. Let's put it in perspective. It's just coming on 3 minutes. Oklahoma can use another minute and a half, giving Nebraska only a minute and a half probably to score from deep in their end of the field.
Tillman wiggling around and wedging in there. In the timeout situation now, Nebraska has 2 remaining.
Oklahoma will use all or close to their 25 seconds in the huddle. Do not get a penalty here. They do not need that. But use most of the 25 seconds. Snap the ball just before the penalty will be called. Keep it on the ground. Don't go out of bounds.
Tell you one thing, the offense better be serving a defense dinner this week.
You're right. You're right. The defense of Oklahoma has been outstanding. Those 2 goal lines.
Tried to get it to Rhymes, but it was a little too long and picked off by Watkins, and the first half is over, and it's 7-7 between the Huskers and the Sooners. Now here's Tim Brandt with Coach Osborne.
All right, Keith, thank you very much. First, let me get your impressions. I know you were upset. They turned the ball over a couple times and missed a field goal, but they played quite well besides that.
Well, Oklahoma's got a great defense, and we're playing hard. We felt it'd take a while to dent them. You know, they played well early, and we're just going to keep going at them and see what happens. But we try to be a good fourth-quarter football team, and so if we do it, that's probably where it's going to be.
Tom, they showed you a few new wrinkles offensively. They moved things to disguise them pretty well defensively early. Did that affect you guys at all early?
No, they really haven't done that much different that I've seen. Of course, I got the worst seat in the house, so. But I think everything is going okay, but it's going to be a great ball game, and anybody's going to win it.
All right, thank you very much. Good luck the second half, Tom.
Something to behold.
3rd down and 5.5, and Bradley keeps it. Trying to outrun the pursuit on the corner and can't do it. Number 90, Scott Strasburger, just wouldn't let him get around the corner. Been some surprises today, been some bold spots decided today, though the official circumstances for a lot of bowls not really in effect until next week, but Ohio State did lock the Rose Bowl today for the Big Ten. Jim Lampley will run them all down for you just as soon as this game is over, and we've now gone inside 2 minutes to play.
What a tough call. This is going to be 4th down and 1, coming on to 1 minute and 50 seconds to play. They're going to go for it right here.
Oklahoma will go for it. They need 1 yard to keep the ball for 4 more snaps.
So that's the situation here at halftime with a score 7-7 between Nebraska. We'll be back after this commercial message and a word from your local stations.
Ball.
Give it to Tillman, and he looks like he's got the first down. They shove him back, but the mark looks like it's at the Nebraska 32.
Now Nebraska with 2 timeouts. They'll use them on the first 2 snaps from center. Oklahoma cannot run the clock out unless they make a first down if Nebraska uses their 2 timeouts, and I'm sure they will. No, they can, Keith. I'm wrong. Because they can use 25 seconds here on the first down play.
Well, Nebraska demanded the measurement. It's their prerogative. They can ask for it, and they did. But it's clearly a first down.
Nebraska had their chances in the 3rd quarter. Had their chances in the 4th quarter, didn't they?
Well, they had a chip shot field goal. The ball was down on the 1 yard line inside the 1 for the field goal to tie.
1 foot line.
Now, I know that Klein was shaken up last week and maybe a little sore, but he's been kicking today.
It would have been no more than an extra point. The ball was right in front of the goalpost.
Yep.
They could have lost the Orange Bowl and probably have, plus the national championship.
This is Tillman. And Tillman from the 32, just inside the 30. And the clock rolling. Now Nebraska's got to spend a timeout to kill it. 1:02 to play in the football game. The Sooners and the Huskers, always a scrap. Defense been the story of this ball game, and especially on the Oklahoma side. Nebraska's only run for 138 yards today. And this is Danny Bradley keeping it, breaking it open, foot race to the corner, touchdown, no flag.
Keith, I want to go back to that call on 4th down and a foot. Maybe Osborne's thinking was that if I tie this game, I do get the Orange Bowl bid, but I couldn't win the national championship with a loss and a tie. Chances are Brigham Young would have won it. So he was gambling not only the Orange Bowl on that 4th and foot call, but the national championship also. Maybe that was his thinking.
Whatever, it's academic now because 56 seconds remain to play in the ball game, and the Sooners have just slammed the door. The extra point kick by Lasher is good. It's 17-7 Oklahoma, and they have broken Nebraska's string of 3 straight wins over them.
Congratulations to Barry Switzer, the Oklahoma defense. Danny Bradley's play in the 2nd half. Where is the safety man now? Where could Clark be? Clark's supposed to show up right there. We don't see him. Evidently, the tight end had gone down and blocked him, which is the change that you have. Levin Harris comes all the way across from the other halfback, but too late to stop Bradley from the touchdown. Bradley being a senior quarterback from Pine Bluff, first half, -2 yards. Second half, 108 yards. Quite a change.
56 seconds to play in the game. DuBose and Swanson are deep now for the Oklahoma kickoff. Well, this puts a little premium on next week's Cowboy Sooner game, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, down in Norman, Oklahoma. Those intrastate games, Keith, are the fiercest of them all. You're like Alabama. You're born an Oklahoma State supporter or an Oklahoma supporter. You move in, you have to decide very quickly which team you're going to support. You cannot be neutral in Oklahoma.
That's a fair to Midland defensive crowd over there in Stillwater, too.
Yes, it is.
That ball hits in the end zone. It'll come out to the 20.
Watch the wingback on the right of the screen, which is Weddington. Makes the block on. Oh, he's the one that blocked. He's the one that blocked Clark. Now 45. Clark comes all the way around, so they get both backs. Now Clark is going to block. Excuse me. Carr is going to block Clark right there. Boy, what a blocking scheme they had, and got both of the safeties out of the play.
From the 20 now, Nebraska will throw it up. Obviously, they won't need it. Sundberg never has a chance. He is sacked. Knocked down all the way back on the 8-yard line, and it's number 96, Richard Reed, the sophomore from Fort Worth. That came storming in to get him.
He's playing in place of the injured Jeff Tupper, who was the starting tackle, hurt last week, operated in on Monday. Number 96 makes the sack. Oh, what a game this has been for Oklahoma. Nebraska fans will look back on that 4th and 1 to the 2 goal line stands till next fall.
This is Smith coming out of the field, and Jeff's knocked out of bounds up around the 16-yard line. The clock running with 10 seconds to play now. It's just really a matter of running it out, but Nebraska, with 11 seconds to play, spends their last timeout.
11 seconds remaining in the game.
And that probably will do it. Nebraska with no more timeouts, and the ball at their own 15 with Oklahoma leading 17-7. The sideline thrown and caught up on the 37, and we've still got 6. So they only use 5 seconds to pick up the first down and move the ball up to the Nebraska 37.
First down and 10. The ball is on the 37.
I guess one of the more revealing stats coming out of this game will surely be this, that Nebraska averaged 328 yards per game rushing during the season. Today, the Oklahoma defense shut them down and held them to 137.
Their goal, Keith, as you said, was to stop the running, force them into a passing game.
That pass is complete well upfield to Scott Kimball, but time has run out. And the Oklahoma Sooners have defeated the Nebraska Cornhuskers 17-7. And it sets up the game with Oklahoma State and Norman next week as the ball game that will determine the Big 8 Conference representative in the Orange Bowl. And we'll have the game for you here on ABC. And now let's go to Tim Brandt.
All right, defense. This guy is fired up. How do you explain it, Barry? You dodged some bullets and then you made the big play.
It's just unbelievable. Our defense is, our offense tested our defense because we didn't help in the second half. Well, I tell you what, it's a great goal line stand. I kept thinking Texas from the 1-yard line.
Brian Hall comes up and makes that tackle. That has to be the biggest play of the game.
Hey, Tim, I don't know what to tell you. We won.
All right. There you go. I've got Brian Hall with me here, too. Brian, tell me about the 4th and goal play.
Well, it was the play was designed to run inside, and our All-American Tony Casillas and Brian Bosworth, the rest of the guys on the line, they shut up the middle, and they had to run outside, and I just played off the block and made the tackle. And I'd like to say hello to my dad in Houston. I want to say hello to Andre.
Is that the biggest play of your career?
Yes. Hello, Keith and Andre and Norman.
All right, Keith, back up to you. It's pandemonium down here.
All right. Keith and Andre, of course, Andre Johnson and Keith Stanberry, the 2 young starters who were injured in the automobile accident and are out for the rest of the season. Well, it was quite a day in Lincoln with a final score. Oklahoma 17 and Nebraska 7. Keith Jackson, Frank Broyles, and Tim Brandt. From Lincoln, the executive producer of ABC Sports is Roone Arledge. Today's coverage of the Oklahoma-Nebraska game produced by Chuck Howard, directed by Andy Sedaris. Our technical